Hi, my name is Deb Bolin, and I work in the Seed Library at Pickle Public Library. I'd like to talk to you today about problems in your garden and organic ways to solve them. Gardening is a lot of work when everything's going right, but boy, when everything's going wrong, it's terrible. I have studied several books on problems with garden and how to handle them organically. I think that it would be a good idea for everybody that's going to do a garden to get a soil test kit. I spoke with Steve Trossel at the Miami County OSU Extension Office in Troy. They have a first-time soil test free of charge to you there. You can give him a call, set up a meeting time to go in there and pick it up, get your soil test, follow directions, take the box to the post office. They will mail it free of charge back to the OSU Extension Office, which at that time is at the state level. They will then test that soil kit. They will tell you what your pH levels are, and they'll also tell you what that means. They'll tell you if it's off, how to correct that. I also wanted to let you know that the Troy OSU Extension Office has several master gardeners that work there. So if you do have any problems in the garden that you're not sure what the problem is, they are very happy to assist you in any way that they can. Here are some tips on fertilizing and amending the soil. Fish emulsion and kelp, liquid or powdered, fertilizes and promotes healthy soil and plants. Eggshells are great for peppers and tomatoes for calcium and is the main nutrient. Let crushed eggshells soak in water for 24 hours and use the water to water your garden. Fish and any fish parts, buried or composted, are excellent fertilizer. Epsom salts promotes growth of flowers and foliage. Booster shots for tomatoes and peppers and eggplants when blooming. Mix 1 gallon of warm water to 2 tablespoons of Epsom salts and spray on the foliage and soak the soil. If you take a bucket full of bone meal, it provides the plants with essential phosphorus for strong roots and development, flowering and fruiting, and calcium for robust cell walls and disease prevention, particularly blossom end rot. You make 3-inch furrows 3 inches away from the plant. A bucket full of bone meal will treat 200 row feet in your garden. Hardwood aces at a rate of 1 pound per 200 square foot of garden provide potash for development of strong plants. Awaken your asparagus bed by mixing 2/3 cup of sugar and 1 tablespoon of yeast in a quart of water to feed the plant and attract beneficial insects to do the battle with the asparagus beetle. Molasses, blackstrap, or horticultural grade jumpstarts microbial action, which in turns help nutrients to be better available for your plant. And it also attracts harmful insects in to trap them. If you don't have a compost pile, I would strongly suggest that you get one. It's not a lot of work, but as you layer the materials and it breaks down, it puts a lot of nutrients into your garden. Something I wanted to make you aware of are the things that you are able to compost and the things that you cannot. Some of the items that you can compost are leaves, grass clippings, young weeds, plant prunings, vegetable peels, eggshells, coffee grounds, used tea leaves, soil, and manure. Make sure it is only from cows, horses, sheep, pigs, or chickens. Rock powders such as rock phosphorus or granite dust, bone meal, seaweed, fish scraps, and hay. Never, never, never compost oils or fats, meat, pet manures, diseased or insect-infested plants, and weeds that have gone to seed. Poison ivy, castor bean, or any other poisonous plant. One way to control weeds is if you have a bad back and are having trouble with a tiller, you cover the ground with cardboard and several sheets of newspaper. Make sure you wet it down. That's what holds it down. Put several inches of grass clippings on there. And then you allow it to sit for several weeks. Then you plant your vegetables through the cardboard or the newspaper. Add plenty of mulch during the growing season and hand pull any small weeds that might appear. By the end of the second year, your soil should be much better and a lot more clear of weeds. Mulching is a must. It controls weeds, conserves moisture, cools the soil, and keeps plants clean, and it prevents evaporation. The best mulches to use are straw, leaves, grass clippings, leaf mold, pine needles, processed manure, redwood shavings, and sawdust. Bug control. One of the easiest things to do is rotate your crops every year to a different spot. It keeps the bugs guessing where their favorite bird went in the garden, and it's the easiest fix. Make sure when purchasing new plants that they are free of pests from soil to roots, stem to foliage before planting in your garden. Getting the best of pesky pests, look around your garden daily. If you do this, you're more familiar with what you've got going on there, and you will see something happening right away if something is eating at it. And you can look at it and find out what it is and figure out how to treat that. To trap the Japanese or cucumber beetles, use a clean beach bottle, cutting it just under the handle. Attach a plastic bag to the bottle top with a rubber band around the bottle opening. Hang the bottle upside down by the handle on the tree or the plant. The beetles will fall into it and it will funnel down into the plastic bag. It can't get out once it goes in. Make sure you empty the bag every night into a bucket of soapy water. Aphids. Scientists at Texas A&M University estimates up to 90% of the problems with aphids, mites, and spittlebugs can be cured with a strong glass of water. Aphids are also attracted to the color yellow, so set a shallow pan of soapy water near the infestation. You can also use adhesive tape to remove the aphids from the plant leaves. Just wrap it around your fingers, sticky side out, and blot off the aphids. Lace-winged bug. Interplant borage around the plants that lace-wings are eating. This helps with a lot of bugs, so I suggest that you plant a little borage here and there. Slugs and snails. Put out small bowls of beer to draw slugs in. Best way to do this is to bury this bowl or the lid to the top of the soil. That way they fall right in. Make sure you empty as needed. Collect cut hair from a barber shop. Sprinkle it on top of the soil. A full shoebox should cover about 100 square feet. Scatter pine needles, coffee grounds, and crushed eggs around the plant. Reapply as needed. Copper strips produce a shock to them when the slug or the snail crosses over them. You can purchase inexpensive copper strips. I priced them at Walmart and they run about $5 to $10 per 50 foot. Most of them are adhesive, so if you have pots that the slugs and snails are bothering, you can tape it around the pot and it will keep them out of your pots. You can also take about a 5-foot wide piece of screen, whatever length you need it, bury it into the ground, leaving the top 1/4 inch up on the top. They won't go across that because when they start over it, it will scrape them. Cutworm. Cutworms work their way underground havoc just a few inches underground. Some deterrent things you can do is install a wall made out of anything. It could be plastic. Anything that you dig down to form a wall to keep it away 3 inches down at least will keep it out. Something that you can do for a long-term solution, you can save your soup cans, cut the top and bottoms out of those. Those work just great. Rust flies. Protect your carrot crops from rust flies and other infestations by healing the soil around the carrots just like you would do potatoes. As the greenery comes up, when you see the carrot, make sure you're putting soil up against the carrot so that the orange part is covered up, but leave the green part out. Caterpillars. Plant milkweed, parsley, or Queen Anne's lace for the caterpillars to munch on, and plant a lot of royal-colored flowers around that. They will hopefully leave your garden alone. Otherwise, I do nothing to make the caterpillars stay out because I love butterflies. Now I would like to get into some of the bigger critters, like rabbits. Mr. McGregor was a character from Beatrice Potter's Peter Rabbit stories. He was a grumpy gardener that disliked rabbits stealing his vegetables all the time, so he was known for chasing Peter Rabbit and his cousins around the garden. In his book, his cure for rabbits often involved attempts to catch them, sometimes with intentions of making them into a pie. Here are a few ideas that might work better and be a permanent deterrent for rabbits in your garden. The most effective method is to install a sturdy fence that is buried a few inches under the ground to prevent digging. and tall enough to prevent them from jumping over, at least 3.5 to 4 foot tall. You can use strong smells with rabbits. They dislike things such as garlic, chili peppers, and vinegar, or introduce plants that rabbits naturally avoid like garlic and wormwood. They find it very offensive. Raccoons. There's only 2 methods that are endorsed by the Humane Society of the United States. Number 1, sprinkle garlic powder or cayenne pepper, black pepper, or Tabasco on soil around treasured bulbs or plants. However, you have to reapply this every time it rains. Or you can run a single strand of low voltage electric wire around the area to protect 6 inches high at the most off the ground. Deer. To keep deer out of the garden completely, you would have to put a 7-foot high fence all the way around everything, and most of us don't have the money to do that. A deer poster recipe you can do is 2 eggs, 2 cloves of garlic, 2 tablespoons of Tabasco sauce, 2 tablespoons of cayenne pepper, and 2 cups of water. Put all the ingredients into a blender, puree, allow it to sit for 2 days, strain and pour around plants. Cover small plants with 1-gallon plastic jugs. With the bottom cut out, you can sink it down into the soil a couple of inches. The deer cannot reach the plant inside that. Dangle strips of mylar from anything that they're eating. They don't like reflections or things that move and make noise. At night, a motion sensor light might help. They also have a sprinkler that you can purchase that is motion activated, and when the deer goes past it, it will go off. So that sometimes works as well. For the small garden plot, though, spreading chicken wire on the ground loosely, they don't want to get their hoofs caught in the wire, so they will avoid the area completely. You can also string a ring of fishing line around some stakes at the 2-foot and 4-foot level. They don't like it when it's touching their legs, and sometimes they will back off. Hang up soap bars. The tiny hotel soaps are perfect, but if you don't have those, dial or right guard soap works the best. Drill holes through the soap and hang up with a fishing line or thin string around the affected plants. Obviously, there are many problems and many solutions that can be considered organic, not harmful to beneficial insects and animals. We have books on the subject here on gardening solutions. Our next month podcast will be about how to collect seeds from your plants. Please like and follow us. We would love to hear from you. If you have any comments or have some family secrets that you would like to share or find helpful, please put them in the comments. And as always, you can get up to 10 packages of seed this month from the Seed Library by going to www.pickvillelibrary.org/seed library. Until next time, happy gardening!